our prosecutor know? On the record in the matter, the people of the state of Michigan versus Hurley Young, file number is 23-00231, FY, council appearance.
Brian Ring on behalf of people.
May it please this honorable court, Aaron Martinez appearing in the place of attorney Chris Wickman on behalf of Mr. Hurley Young, who is present in the virtual courtroom at this time.
Thank you. How are you, Mr. Young?
Just fine. How you doing? You having a good morning?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. And how are you, Mr. Martinez?
I'm doing well, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. Today
Good.
was the date that was set for a preliminary examination. I have a plea sheet here. It says that the people are offering for you, Mr. Young, to plead guilty to an added count 2 of attempt resisting and obstructing under Michigan Compile Law 750.81 D1A. That's a misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 1 year and or $1,000 in fines. They're going to dismiss count 1. And there's a Killebrew, which is a sentencing agreement of no upfront jail. Is that what you understand your plea offer to be, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 1 second. We're having a technical issue here. Throw it out the window. Look at this. This happens too often. Her computer just shuts down in the middle of.
Beauty of live show business, Your Honor.
I think it's time for her to get a new computer. I think so too. I think that's a sign you're gonna crash you, actually. Can we, you know what, did we record? We back on? Okay. Okay, let's see, there you go. Back on the record, I think we got the technical issue addressed for now. I was going over your plea offer, and Mr. Young, is that what you recall your plea offer to be?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you want to accept that offer today?
Yes, ma'am.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Okay, Mr. Young, you have the right in this matter to proceed to a trial. And you have the right to a jury trial. In order to accept this offer, you would have to give up that right along with some other rights. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means you're giving up your right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until the prosecution can prove you guilty at trial. You recognize that?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you waive that right to the presumption of innocence to plead guilty, you're also giving up your right to cross-examine any of the witnesses that the prosecution intended to call. You're giving up the right to call your own witnesses at a trial or present evidence at trial that you believe would further defense of this charge. You're gonna give up your right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You're gonna give up the right to have the prosecution prove each of the elements of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody making any promises to you to get you to want to waive your rights and plead guilty today?
No, ma'am.
Has there been any threats made to you in exchange for a guilty plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you currently on probation, parole, or serving a sentence in another matter?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You understand that a guilty plea can result in a conviction that you may need to report to your current employer or put on a conviction on a future job application?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you also understand that a guilty plea can result in a conviction that may have impact on travel or immigration status you may be seeking, like you may want to travel up to Canada this summer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you still want to waive your rights, understanding all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then there's a Killebrew. That's an agreement between you and the prosecutor. I'm not in a party to that. They explain that to you?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means that at the time of sentencing, if I decide that I'm going to sentence you to a term of jail time, I would give you an opportunity then to withdraw your plea. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you entering a guilty plea because you believe you're guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, as to the added count 2 of attempted resisting and obstructing, how do you plead? How do you plead, sir?
I couldn't hear you.
As it relates to the added count 2 of attempting, resisting, obstructing, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or do you stand mute?
Guilty.
Okay, counsel, can I have a factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Young, you are still under oath in this matter. On January 20th, 2023, did law enforcement attempt to stop you while you were driving?
Yes, yes,
And were those police officers in a marked police vehicle and wearing uniforms?
yes,
And you knew that they were police officers trying to do their jobs?
yes,
Was the location of that incident at Holmes and Palmer in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan?
yes,
And did you obstruct those officers by driving away from them and then walking away on foot after parking?
yes.
Your Honor, I think that's a sufficient factual basis.
Any questions from the prosecution?
No further questions.
The court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. I find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. He doesn't have anything else pending, correct? Okay. We can proceed to immediate sentencing.
We have no objection to that, Your Honor.
Okay, you can make allocution.
Yes, Your Honor. Just want to let the court know, Mr. Young is well aware that his conduct in this matter really stems from some bad decisions based on some bad habits that he has had. He has largely been a law-abiding citizen. He's stayed out of trouble. He did not resist the officers in this matter once they found him, but we do admit that he did drive away from them because he did not have a valid license at the time. He is a team leader at Woodbridge, and he's worked there for almost 4 years now. He has 4 children who he loves dearly. He sees them almost every day, and he is about to be a grandfather. So he knows that this is a serious incident, and it's one that he is looking forward to being able to prove himself to the court as to the kind of person that he is now. He is planning to get things together in order to have a valid license as soon as possible. So that way he has no further issues stemming from his driver's license. And we believe that a period of short-term probation would be sufficient in this matter to meet the needs of justice and the sentencing factors.
Mr. Young, what's going on
Yes,
with your
ma'am.
license?
My license been suspended from prior for it been suspended for so long, and they said I got pulled over a long time ago. They spent my license for a long time. I just can't get them, and I be just trying to get them. So that's why I contact him to try to help me get my license.
Hmm.
At least I'm working license.
What have you been doing to try to get your license, sir?
I've been going to the Secretary of State. They tell me to file a motion to get a hearing, but then I don't never get no answer back. I don't know if I felt it out right or not, but I never got no answers back. And then when I called the Secretary of State, they said my license suspended all the way till 2026, and I never ever had a license a day of my life. Never.
Okay. You can give me this driving license. Kyle? See that email? We're getting you a new Jimmy on here. They're not. They're gonna try to. No. That was gonna crash. That's why it's doing it, and it's doing it more frequent. I got a new computer. Oh, yeah. It don't take them that long. You just gotta request it. He can give me a new computer. He's in charge. He's telling me he's gonna get you a new computer. You have a series of suspensions on here. You don't go to court. And you don't pay the fines and costs after you get them. That's what your license is saying. You gotta contact all these jurisdictions where you owe money and pay it off. And get
No,
those
I know.
suspensions.
I always and paid on my ticket. I've never did like that. But I understand I do owe passes and stuff. I know the money to get. If I pay that, they still told me that. You know what I'm saying? That I couldn't get my license regardless. I know that. I owe them little few dollars.
You got a number of them, sir. We're talking about since 2003. You've been racking these ones up.
I know from I was little.
Yeah, I don't see how anyone with that works and has a family and is soon to be grandfather can live in this city without a valid license. This should be at the top of your priority list is
I've been
figuring that
trying.
out.
I've been trying, man.
Well, I try a little harder. You got counsel now. Maybe they can help you navigate that process so that
I
you
know,
can get that together. That needs to be at the top of your priority list.
I know. That's what I'm trying to do now.
Because you're affecting your overall quality of life. This particular area, I don't feel like I need to put you on oversight for you to do that. You got an attorney, you figure that out. You weren't charged with driving on license suspended, at least not in this matter. I don't know, and I was told you don't have anything else pending. I'm gonna sentence you to fines and costs in this matter. And you work on getting your license taken care of with your attorney. Fine in this matter is a $75 crime victim rights fee plus $50 state minimum cost. I'm gonna assess a fine of $200. That's $325. When can you make payment, sir?
Friday when I get paid. That'd be next Friday, man.
Next Friday?
Yes.
Okay, I'll note here that you'll make payment by April 7th. You can make payment online at the court website using your case number 23-00231FY, or you can come up and make payment at the criminal traffic window, or you can mail check or money order to the court, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions at this time?
No, ma'am.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing on behalf of Mr. Young, Your Honor. Thank you for the court's time.
Thank you.
And nothing on behalf of people. Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set. Good luck to you, Mr. Young.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Have a
Thank
great day,
you.
everybody.
All right. Thank you.
You too. One of my, don't have a note. What are we doing with Milk's matter? That's an adjournment?
Yeah, that he's the one that got that letter he got.
Oh, okay. Okay, and Miss Donnelly, is Mr. Clark here?
Mr. Clark is, my understanding is on the side of the road somewhere having car problems. But we have an offer that he wants to accept, but he has to accept it in Mason on Monday, with a case out there. He was put on probation in Clinton County too right now, so he has to report to them. So I told him that I would let him know that he was having problems and and call him back and let him know what he needs to do. But that was what we were hoping, is just get an adjournment so that he can take that offer on Monday. We try to get him on video. I think he said he was on Wi-Fi because he has a Wi-Fi phone. I contacted his wife.
Yes, he needs to log in.
I'll tell him.
Let me see here, for Mr. Easley, I can reset it, I just don't know how long I'm supposed to reset this for. Please excuse all absences, if you have any further questions, please contact me. Oh, just wonderful. Now that I see your face.
Huh? Hello.
Uh,
You're in trouble.
Louis Eastley,
Yes.
we received a letter. He was admitted, but I know I adjourned it already till May 11th at 9:30. I don't know how long he's gonna be admitted for. There's a number here if you want to follow up with them and find out at your convenience.
I've spoken
Okay.
with people from the facility. I don't know, are we going, do you want to go on the record, Your Honor, or just kind of?
No, I just want to know how long you want me to adjourn it for.
They believe that it's gonna be, I think he's got a PRT that could extend up to 14 weeks. I talked to Selena from Stonecrest. 10 days to 2 weeks is the estimated time.
Okay.
There was a court ordered PRT on 3/27.
Sounds good.
So yeah, it'd be 10 days to 2 weeks from that date, Monday, I guess.
So we'll leave it at 30 days for now. If for some reason we need to extend it, we just notice the court.
I appreciate that, Your Honor. Thank you.
Sounds good. And let's see. Gibbs, we're running.
Potentially Dale wanted to talk about that with me.
Oh, okay. Well, sounds like now's a good time. And then Kiera Evans.
Mr. Samuels remembers the day. If Mr. Samuels remembers it's the correct day.
He's gonna remember. He's gonna be here. He's got 6 minutes.
Hello. Hello.
Kiera Evans, that note, that was not for you. It was for Mr. Clark, but thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Mr. Clark, can you hear me?
Yes, I just got the audio set up. I didn't know if you were trying to say anything before or not.
Yes, I was just looking for you to start your video. Or your
Okay.
audio.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Aren't you supposed to be in court today, sir?
Yes, I had car trouble as soon as we got down the road.
Sounds good. We're just waiting for the prosecutor. Morning, Mr. Samuels.
Good morning.
Hello?
Hang tight, sir. We're waiting for the prosecutor.
Oh, okay.
Any page, Mr. Ring. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Carlos Clark, file number 22-01749. FY counsel appearance.
Brian Ring on behalf of the people.
An assistant public defender, Sarah Donnelly, on behalf of the defendant, Carlos Clark, who's appearing separately by video.
Okay, Mr. Clark, today was the date and time that was set for a preliminary examination. I think we adjourned this or previously for there to be a screening for drug court. You said that he is going to enter a plea.
Yes, drug court, there's complications with the courts and their probation department. So right now the offer is Mr. Clark is, if he pleads guilty to a count of, I believe it's possession of a controlled substance like a Schedule 5, like LSD or mushroom or something like that. Yeah. He plead guilty to that in front of Judge Allen. And he can, the city will, or state will dismiss the felony in this court. And he has a pretrial conference on that on Monday.
April 14th at 10, but we anticipate a nollie. Is that what's gonna happen?
That's what would happen if we leave them on.
Okay, sounds good. All right, this will be set until that time. Hopefully we'll get a nollie before then. Do you have any questions today, Mr. Clark?
I didn't hear what you guys were discussing too much. I heard part of it.
Okay, your attorney has advised the court that you have a plea offer before the 55th District Court where you would plead guilty to possession of a controlled substance, that be in a Schedule 5 or mushrooms, I believe. And then they will dismiss this upon entry of your guilty plea in the 55th, okay?
Okay,
So we're gonna reset this so that you can have your court date on Monday before Judge Allen. And then once you finish over there, then the people can send a dismissal on this file, okay?
okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, I don't think so.
Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing with people, thank you, Your Honor.
Enough for defense, thank you.
Thank you. Good luck to you with your car trouble, sir.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Kiera Evans, file number 23-00141. Council appearance.
Brian Ring on behalf of the people.
Matthew Samuels on behalf of the defendant, Kiera Evans. We're both appearing by Zoom.
Hey, you can just stay there and watch other people. That's crazy.
Okay, today was the date and the time that was set for preliminary examination. Actually, the preliminary examination was set last week, but there was a mix-up on the date somehow. Nonetheless, my understanding there's a waiver to the circuit court at this time.
That's my understanding as well, Your Honor. At this time, people would unconditionally waive their right to preliminary examination.
That is correct. We'll unconditionally waive our right to a preliminary examination as well.
Okay, was there an offer to follow to the circuit court?
There was an offer and there was the plea to count one and the rest would be dismissed, Judge.
Ms. Evans, how are you?
I am blessed and highly favored. How are you?
Amen to that. Likewise, I too am blessed and highly favored. Today, ma'am, was the date set for you to have a preliminary examination? The understanding of the court is that you want to unconditionally waive that examination. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so you have the right to have an examination here in the district court, and you have the right to have the prosecution put forth sufficient evidence during that hearing to establish that they have sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause to charge you with the crime that you've been charged with. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, and you wish to unconditionally waive your right to that examination, meaning you can't change your mind after you waive it. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, is anybody making any promises to you in any way to get you to want to waive your examination?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay, has there been any threats made to you in exchange for you to waive your examination in the district court?
No, and your questions make me want to ask the point of a examination again.
The purpose of the examination is for the prosecution to meet their burden of probable cause. So they have to bring sufficient evidence at this stage to show that they have enough evidence of probable cause that a crime was actually committed and enough evidence to support probable cause that you were the person to commit the crime.
Okay, yes, that's the understanding I have of that, and I'm willing to waive my rights to my preliminary
Okay.
exam.
Very good, very good. And you recognize the unconditional portion, that means that this matter will be bound over to the circuit court. You can't change your mind once you get there and decide that you want to come back and have your exam. You understand that?
I understand that.
Okay. Your bind over date's gonna be March 22nd. You do not need to appear in court on March 22nd. That's the date that the circuit court will get the file from the district court, okay?
I'm sorry, March 22nd. Today's the 30th. April?
Oh, someone wrote March 22nd on my file. You're correct. It
That's
should be
okay.
April.
Okay.
Why does it say March 22nd again? Oh, you were supposed to waive last week, I think is why that was there.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds correct.
April 12th. Okay, your bind over date, April 12th, 2023. You do not need to appear in court on that date, okay? That's the date that they're gonna get the file from this court, okay?
Okay, and then I'll get notice of when I have a new court date is?
That is correct, and your notice will be for a pretrial, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and don't, and if you get a notice that says you have a pretrial on a certain date, you make sure you appear. I don't care what Mr. Samuel says, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions for the court at this time?
I don't, thank you.
Okay, your bond was set at 7,510%, is that accurate?
Yes. $750.
It's not listed on here. Where's the bond? Nobody is, I'm just saying whoever arranged it didn't put it on the ROA. Okay, 7,510%. There's a no contact order. And you're on GPS?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are we addressing bond for any reason today?
No, Your Honor.
Say,
Okay, thank you.
what was your question?
That was to your attorney. I was asking, did he want to address bond today?
No, can we? No? Can I get this tether off of my ankle? No.
Counsel, your client is making a request.
Sure, I'll address that then, Your Honor. I guess my client would like to know if she can remove the tether from her ankle. From my understanding, she's got no violations. This is her first offense. She has no contact with the alleged complainant in this. She wants no contact with the alleged complainant in this. Therefore, I do request that we remove the tether from her ankle at this point.
I'll grant the request. I don't see any violations. She's been on the tether, it looks like, since January 15th. And so I'll remove the GPS tether. The no contact order, however, will continue. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the Dariel minor. It says Janila Conley.
Conley, and I fully understand that. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I'm sorry, what are you saying, ma'am?
I was just saying I didn't mean to interrupt you, ma'am.
Counsel, you said something?
I would just like to make a brief record. The people would leave it in the discretion of the court, but I do just want to make a note that this incident that she's currently charged with, the waiving of the circuit court, she was charged with shooting somebody in the leg during this matter, and there was a weapon involved in a shot, and somebody did have to go to the hospital as a result of this, judge. So I would still leave it to your discretion. I just wanted to make a record of that.
Thank you. Still, in the last 90 days, I don't think there's been an issue involving the defendant following the no contact order. We don't even have allegations of her being within those exclusion zones. So I think she recognizes the severity of the charges against her and the need for the protection of the victims or the alleged victims at this time. Again, there's a no contact order for a Dariel Minor and a Janila Conley. You're not to be within, I'm going to amend that to 1,500 feet of wherever they are. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Not to have contact directly or indirectly with any of the alleged victims in this matter. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. Do you understand that?
I understand.
Do you have any questions about your bond conditions?
I don't.
I have one question, Your Honor. How does she go about getting the tether removed?
She needs to go down to the county so they can remove it. You should
Okay,
that
do you
immediately.
understand that, Ms. Evans?
Is that where I got booked at?
Where did they put the GPS tether on you?
On my leg?
No, where were you located?
Oh,
What
and
building?
in the second jail that I went to.
Yeah, you're gonna go exactly to the same place that gave it to you and give it back.
Okay, I'll just call them. Thank you.
No problem. All other bond conditions will continue. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing on behalf of people. Thank you, Your Honor.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're all set.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Same to you. And you're still working on Gibbs?
Yeah, that's correct.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Alfonso Gibbs, file number 22-035549 FY, council appearance.
Brian Ring on behalf of the people.
Thank you, Honor. Dale Coltrane and Adam Gibbs, who is standing next to me.
How are you, Mr. Gibbs? Today was the date set for preliminary examination. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, at this time, defense has a motion to adjourn. We are waiting on a preliminary exam transcript that was ordered from an exam that took place in Judge Flores' court a couple of weeks ago, where the same complaining victim was involved. I'm not here to try my case today, but I know that case was dismissed. I think that exam, that transcript is going to be instrumental in this case.
There's no objection by the people to this adjournment, Judge.
Okay, you made the request for the transcript. They're just still working on it.
Yeah, I think it went to Miss Williams. We put in a call to her to see how long it's going to be. She didn't respond to that. So I think they contracted it out to another person.
Oh, so she's not taking care of it.
Right.
Okay.
So she would-
You know better probably than I do on this one too. Somebody named Williams? Who does? I'll- June 2nd at 8:30. Things will take that long for you to transfer. It depends on who's saying. Something unreasonable.
As soon as I know what.
Okay, June 2nd. We can do May 11th, but I just don't want to get them. I feel like May 11th is better. Does that work? Let's do May 11th. So Ms. Williams or wherever they get cracking. 8:30.
Stay in June.
May 11th at 8:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing with the people. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set. We'll get you a copy of your notice to appear, sir. You can have a seat.